What is going on, trainers? DrumVillain here, bringing you some more Pokemon Go PvP content, and today we're talking about the Great League because it's a new season, new movesets, everything's changed. Well, not everything. A lot, actually, it's less changes than last season, but water types got a buff because, you know, the Great League especially and Go Battle League in general wasn't overrun with powerful water types, but Goodra been buffed, which I find quite exciting. They gave it access to Aqua Tail and increased the damage of Aqua Tail. Alolan Marowak's been buffed, they buffed Shadow Bone damage. Ton of other things that have happened, but those are the two things we're focusing on. Today, I built a team with Goodra, Alolan Marowak, and we've paired it all together in a way that I think this team can hold its own pretty well in the Great League this season overall. Does have a handful of weaknesses, but like I said, everything does at the minute, and I think this team's going to do pretty well in a meta where I think it's going to do well in the way that I think the meta is going to shift, which, well, only time's going to tell, but the team performed pretty well for me in the early season. So let's take a look at some battles and see how it went. All right, first matchup, we've got our Goodra lined up against a Shadow Alolan Ninetales. So it's pretty much as scary as it gets. We're going to swap out into Alolan Marowak, and they're going to bring in Lantern. So this looks like an instant loss, right? You know, because we've got a hard counter on the lead, hard counter on the Say Swap. What more really can you do there? But don't sleep on this team because we're rounding out this lineup with Venusaur. And I think Venusaur is going to be a sleeper pick, especially in the early season while people get to grips with where the meta currently is going to sit, what they want to be running, what they don't want to be running, how some of these new movesets play out. It's just a strong grass type. It's always been a strong grass type. Always just having to worry about the Skarmory is really the worst matchup for it. And there are a lot of Skarmories around, but both Goodra and Marowak can do okay against Skarmory. So we're going to play this matchup out. We're going to put shields in. They're going to put shields in because Alolan Marowak will flip that matchup around. If it takes, you know, uses one extra shield, it's going to flip. It's going to win the matchup because we are running Hex rather than Fire Spin. I figure in the Say Swap situation, we want Hex and Fire Blast rather than running Bone Club and like Shadow Ball or anything else. We decide we're going to get ahead on energy on the Venusaur when farming down the Lantern, which means we can sweep a lot of things as long as there isn't a Skarmory in the back. And if there was, it'd be a loss anyway, just been hard counted through. So we're depending on Venusaur being able to wipe out the rest of the team, and it is going to be able to do that and take the win for us. GG's. All right, next matchup, we got a Shadow Victreebel on the lead. This is fantastic because everything on the team beats Shadow Victreebel. Goodra with the Dragon type, in Venusaur double resisting with the Grass and the Poison type, and of course Alolan Marowak does very well as well in that matchup. They're going to swap into a Galarian Stunfisk. I've not seen a Galarian Stunfisk in Go Battle League in a hot minute, to be honest. It definitely dropped off with the rise of like Poliwrath, Annihilate, picks like that. But they're still out there, they're still very, very strong. But Venusaur does not sweat this matchup whatsoever. We're just going to bring it in. We can survive an Earthquake comfortably because we're not a Shadow Venusaur. But we are going to commit the shields just to we want them to give up their second shield, to be honest. But it's going to turn out that this is not a good idea. If I remember this matchup rightly, in the back there is a Skarmory. So that's going to wall all this health and all this energy potential we've got on Venusaur. So we're going to swap straight out to Goodra. And this is to tempt them. We're tempting them to try and bring the Victreebel back in, which they are going to do after throwing a move at Goodra, which we're very happy about. We're just going to go ahead, throw an Aqua Tail, do some chip damage. And this just means that we've got some extra work that we can do on the Skarmory. Now, my initial plan was, oh, you know, Venusaur can finish off the Victreebel. And then I realized this is going to leave me in a position where I'm going to get Brave Birded into Oblivion. So I want to bring in a Alolan Marowak, farm up extra energy here, because we're wanting to get at least one Shadow Bone off and then just spam the Frenzy Plants into it as well. And we are going to make it to that second Shadow Bone, thanks to the Victreebel's health, giving us some extra energy. This is going to get him pretty low, and now we're just going to go for the pressure. Bring in Venusaur, go for these Frenzy Plants straight away. They don't have two charge moves here, and even if they did throw a Sky Attack, knock us out, that one Frenzy Plant there to put them in range where we can then just Hex them down afterwards. That's going to be a GG. Not too bad, right? Even with some bad leads and some bad matchups, we're not looking too sketchy. Right, Shadow Dragonair. Again, this is a pretty neutral matchup because dragons just Dragon Breath the crap out of each other. They swap into Skarmory. We love to see it because we can line up a Alolan Marowak here, which is our best matchup. Because we're a Shadow Alolan Marowak, the Brave Bird is pretty threatening. It will ruin your day, even though you are resisting the Steel Wings. So we're just going to shield up. That's completely fine. Keep spamming these Shadow Bones off. If they decide to shield this up, we might just shield up and then maybe hex them all the way down, which we get the defense drop, so there is definitely potential to do that now. And if we do that, we're going to have Shadow Bones to dump into that Dragonair, which is going to be very, very nice for us. We're a little bit scared. We do decide to throw. We might have made the farm down, we might not have. But either way, we've got enough health here to make this move before they throw. So we're going to get that shield or do big damage. And whatever's in the back is unlikely to be as good against Venusaur as Skarmory is. So unless I've got like a Talonflame, and even then we might have a shot with that health on Goodra still as well. So they bring in an Azumarill. You love to see it. Venusaur is absolutely going to mop up the rest of this game once again, because once you get a Skarmory out of the way, Venusaur is very, very powerful. So this game's pretty much done and dusted, even if it's Ice Beam, which it isn't. This Azumarill must be running Hydro Pump and Play Rough, so they put us to surrender there. GG's. Not too shabby. So we're on 3 for 3 so far. Not bad. Gallade on the lead. Gallade is one of these ones that's got buffed as well this season. They gave it access to Psycho Cut, so it's incredibly spammy because it has, access to Leaf Blade and Psycho Cut, right? Very, very low energy, very energy efficient move, Leaf Blade. Psycho Cut's very fast energy generation. So Gallade's going to be a bit of a monster. It might even have some good play in the Ultra League this season. We'll have to keep an eye on it. They're going to swap out into Annihilate. Sorry, my brain is running slow today. So bring in Marowak, take them out. We've still got 2 shields here. So we're going to let this go. Unless they're running Synchronize, it's not going to knock us out, no matter what it is, because close combat will be double resisted, Leaf Blade single resisted. So we can shield up once, unless they got another Leaf Blade, which I don't think, oh my god, they do. Okay, we're going to shield this up, farm them down, and we've got a ton of energy on Marowak for whatever's in the back. There's a Skarmory, so this is going to work out very nicely because we got that Fire Blast. We're ready. They got no shields. Here it comes. Boom! Absolutely ruin that Skarmory's day, and Alolan Marowak cleans up the whole game because it's just a beast, especially with that buffed Shadow Bone damage now. Okay, Bastiodon lead. Bastiodon's not brilliant for this team, not going to lie. And of course, that's not a great thing to say for any Great League team because Bastiodons are out there and people do run them. We don't want Marowak lined up with this thing, especially with us not having Bone Club. So we're just going to stop him with Goodra, throw the Aqua Tails. We're going to shield up when they shield up and just drag this matchup out. We want them low on health. If we get them low enough, we can Vine Whip them down with Bastiodon. And if this is a stereotypical Bastiodon team, which might have Wigglytuff in the back, might have Victreebel, might have the Grass Hole line and whatever, Venusaur's very powerful once it gets past the Bastiodon because the grass types struggle. Wigglytuff's going to struggle with that charm damage. Turns out there's a dragon in the back. This is very, very sketchy for us. They throw super fast. We know it's either Muddy Water or Aqua Tail. Just an Aqua Tail, no stress whatsoever. So it's going to go for the Sludge Bomb. We kind of really want this to go through. If not, we're looking kind of scary towards the end of this game. Does go through, fantastic. Go straight for the Frenzy Plant. Again, we hope they let this through, but if not, there might be a chance still to win. They do let it go through. What's in the back? It's the Gallade. Again, a lower Marowak, it's just a wall to Gallade. You know, you're resisting, like I said, unless they're running Synchronized, which no one's running Synchronized. Like Close Combat and Leaf Blade, they're just fantastic moves. They try and catch on Bastiodon, so we're going to get some extra energy before we throw, and then take them out. And we're just wanting to still be able to get to 2 Shadow Bones potentially, but it's looking like the farm down is going to be the better option. So we're just going to keep going here with these fast moves. They can spam Leaf Blade all they want. This will knock us out, but we still have that bit of health just to finish them off here with the Venusaur, 1 Line Lip. And they go down with 2 shields, which, questionable choice, but we did have a lot of energy. So if they had have used those shields, I think we still would have come out on top in that game. But either way, I'm happy with that win and a 5-0 set to start off with this team, so very strong from the outset. Hot tip, because you watched this far into the video, thank you. I'm going to show you guys another set of battles with Goodra, obviously, but if you want the team to be better overall for the general Great League, I think you're better off swapping Goodra out for Whiscash. I did, after recording these battles, I put Whiscash on the lead, and the team is stronger overall, it's better. There's less core breakers you're going to run into on the lead because ice can be a big problem on the lead for this team. And putting Whiscash there really balances that out a lot better. So, personal recommendation. Like I said, this video is about showcasing Alolan Marowak and Goodra, and I do think they're both very strong. But for this team in particular, swap Goodra out for Whiscash. Thank me later. All right, jumping into the next set of battles. We got Charger Bug on the lead. This is a great lead for Goodra. Going to be resisting those Volt Switches. Yes, the X-Scissor is going to be neutral and do a nice big chunk of damage, but it's not going to threaten you. You can let it go through. They're not going to be able to farm you down, so they have to land 2 X-Scissors, by which point you're getting to Aqua Tails and threatening them as well. So we are going to throw this Aqua Tail straight away. It won't KO if they let it through, but it will get them fairly low. So they're going to choose to shield up. Now we're probably going to shield up just because they did match their shield, you know, and we should make it to the next Aqua Tail before they make it to the next X-Scissor, which is nice. We're going to throw just before they do, just to add that little bit of tension again. They shield this up, and at this point, I'm tempted to let this go and just farm down with Alolan Marowak or Venusaur. Either's fine, but I think Alolan Marowak's going to do better. Alolan Marowak's energy, because their shield's down and we've got Fire Blast, is so versatile, and it can just hit so much things for so much damage. So much things, that's weird English. Not talking about my weird English slips, but there's a Lantern in the back which can't absorb all the energy because Shadowbone is neutral. It's going to add up. I'm going to swap out to Venusaur, and they've got a Trevenant in the back, which would be Doomsday for us, but we do have that shield still that we hung on to. So we can shield this up. Doesn't matter if it's Seed Bomb, doesn't matter if it's Shadow Ball. Either way, they won't make it to another move. We can just take them out with a Frenzy Plant, and then Venusaur is going to be able to finish off Lantern as well, because once again, Venusaur is here to sweep the teams up. I think. I'm pretty sure that's how this plays out. Yeah, that's how this plays out. I'm sure it is. So we get to the Frenzy Plant. It's going to do big damage, and then we've still got 200 energy left on Marowak as well. We had like 2 Shadow Bones, so we were very confident in that win. Like, I think Lantern can tank 2 Shadow Bones, but it's not by much. On this lead, we've got Empoleon, and Empoleon got buffed this season. Got access to Steel Wing, and as we know, Steel Wing got buffed last season because we're seeing Skarmories everywhere again. Nice fast energy generation, gets to that Hydro Cannon and Drill Peck pretty quick. I wasn't sure how hard Drill Peck had hit, so I thought I'd better shield up. Turns out you don't need to, but it does in the long term put your risk of being farmed down. I wanted to build up to the Power Whip before throwing, just to definitely pressure them to shield. I'm going to let this go. If it takes us out, I'm just going to farm down with Venusaur. It doesn't quite, and we get the Aqua Tail off, which is very nice. If you've not got a PvP IV's Goodra, that will probably KO you, that second Drill Peck there, because mine is quite bulky. Farm them down with Venusaur, very nice, before they get to a Drill Peck. Trevenant comes in. We're going for double Frenzy Plant, because in the Great League, 2 Frenzy Plants from Venusaur will KO a Trevenant. 1 Sludge Bomb doesn't KO, so you might as well save the 1 Vine Whip and go for 2 Frenzy Plants. Shield up the Shadow Ball, and we're just going to go ahead and throw this, see what the opponent chooses to do. If they do, they will outpace us if they shield up here, and then we should be able to take them out. We make a really weird spur-of-the-moment decision and decide to catch a Shadow Ball on a Alolan Marowak, which is really bloody stupid because it one-shots us. There's a Cresselia in the back, so the other way that plays out is the Shadow Ball comes through, takes out the Venusaur. We get ahead on energy on the Alolan Marowak with the Trevenant, because it won't be able to farm us down, won't be able to get to a charge move before we take them down with Hexes. And then we double Shadow Bone the Cresselia and maybe win. Unless the Cresselia's got Future Sight, we'd win that matchup. So, silly decision by us, but it's the way it goes. Sometimes you make some silly plays. I don't know why. I decided to catch a Shadow Ball on a Ghost type, but there we go. Okay, next matchup, Cradley lead. This is a pretty, I wasn't really sure how this plays out. I'm still not sure how this matchup plays out. This is the example that I have to go on, and we're just going to go for the Power Whip because we figure it's going to hit a little bit harder. We are probably going to shield this up because that first, no, we're not. It's the Grass Knot takes us out. Okay, we're just going to choose to take shield advantage and just get ahead on energy on Marowak. I don't know if I like this play. I think I'd be better of shielding up the first charge move and then dragging this out a little bit longer. But I figure, right, we got a whole Shadow Bone spare on Marowak now. Maybe that can go to good use unless there's like a Lantern in the back. There's a Pelipper, which isn't really much better for us. To be honest, like this Pelipper's going to be big trouble because the wing attacks are going to add up on the Venusaur. We try and catch a Weather Ball on Venusaur, and it doesn't look like we do, but then turns out we do. Fantastic. Awesome. This gives us a little bit of hope in this matchup, but then they build up excess energy, and here comes the Talonflame, which is going to be able to farm us down here, so we're just going to go straight for Sludge Bomb, do some big damage. Hopefully we make it to this Frenzy Plant, which I'm not sure we should be able to get this move off, but we do. So this is nice because it's going to get that, doesn't get the shield out of them. They were doing their counting, they knew it was a Frenzy Plant, so that's frustrating. We have to shield up the Brave Bird, and they've still got a shield, so we're just going to go for the fast move down, and we just hope that we can survive this. And they throw a Hurricane, not Weather Ball, and we don't survive it, so GG's to the opponent. Just the way it goes. Pelipper is pretty tough for our back line, and then them also having Talonflame for Venusaur. We needed to win switch advantage, really, against the Cradily. Vigoroth lead, pretty neutral. The Body Slams are going to add up and the counters, but our Dragon Breaths and Aqua Tails are going to add up, so pretty neutral matchup. Both Marowak and Venusaur do okay, but because we're running Hex on our Alolan Marowak, we want to definitely stop in and just play this matchup out. They're going to dip out into a Lantern when we get low and catch an Aqua Tail, which I don't mind, because that actually means that, well, actually it means that we could have just thrown that Frenzy Plant straight away and pretty much KO'd them, but we're not going to do that. We're going to build up the excess energy after 2 Frenzy Plants so that we can just throw a Frenzy Plant straight away at that Vigoroth. If it comes back in, we should win CMP. I believe Venusaur wins CMP tie against Venusaur. It's not what comes in though, Gligar. And the Frenzy Plant's going to hit Gligar like a truck. It's neutral. You see big damage. They're not going to farm us down before we get to another Frenzy Plant, so they have to throw. Great situation for us. We're not looking too bad here, but our Goodra's a little low. We do get the Frenzy Plant off, which is very lucky for us. This is going to be sketchy. We're going to bring in Marowak and start getting ahead on energy because this is a bad situation. We can't Shadow Bone the Vigoroth. It's too healthy. We need to Fire Blast that thing. So we're going to build up extra energy, This might be a Rock Slide. It might be a Body Slam. It's the Rock Slide. Hits us for big damage, but they can't counter us down. We're going to throw this straight away. This is going to definitely take them out because it's bloody Fire Blast. And now it's just, can we fast move them down before they fast move us down? And we do. Skin of his teeth. Very close matchup, but GG's to the opponent all the same. Big, scary situation in the back there, but played out just fine. Shadow Gligar lead. They have to worry about our Aqua Tails. Aerialist, we don't have to worry about, and that's what this is because they're throwing it too fast for it to be a dig. They're going to dip out into Registeel, and we're going to bring a Alolan Marowak. Right, yes, the Zap Cannon's neutral, yes, 2 of them will take us out, and yes, we're not running Fire Spin, but we're running Fire Blast. And the one thing Registeel knows in this matchup is that it's probably safe to not shield because it takes multiple Shadow Bones. We're not doing Shadow Bones. Bang! Registeel's gone. Fantastic. Right, we're kind of turning this matchup, I'm into turning it around. It wasn't against us, but it's definitely turning in our favour. Get a shield out of the Gligar, get the defense drops, all looking fantastic. We've got the Aqua Tail loaded on the Goodra. Give us that second shield or get out of there. Hopefully there's something weak to Venusaur in the back, but we shall see. With 2 shields, unless it's a Skarmory, Venusaur wins pretty much anything else in the Great League. We shield up, Medicham in the back. Unless they land a Psychic, which they threw far too quick there. This is definitely an Ice Punch or something, something that's not a Psychic. So we can just no shield that, no stress whatsoever. Build up extra energy. Go for the Frenzy Plant. This won't take them out, but it'll get them very low. And are they going to throw here? Yes, they are. And this means we can just fast move them down. We're just going to Vine Whip them into the ground and then have Frenzy Plants to throw at the Gligar and just absolutely take them out. Job is a good one. I was a bit nervous that the Medicham might have run Power Up Punch and be able to get to another move there and just snipe us down, but we should have still been fine with the Goodra, possibly anyway. So, GG's. So, that's the team. Both Goodra and Alolan Marowak are looking very strong this season in the Great League. And Venusaur, to be honest, I mean, it's not had a buff, but I think that the way that things have changed definitely benefits Venusaur. It's going to have to put a lot of work in through this season because there's still a lot of Azumarill around. Whiscash is still a popular pick. Like I said, the main thing is Skarmory, and not every team is running a Skarmory. Like, they are out there, they are fairly common, but you do have 2. We didn't really see much of the Skarmory-Goodra matchup playing out, but Goodra does okay in that matchup. You just go for the Aqua Tails, the Dragon Breaths do add up over time, and just commit, I'd shield in case it's a Brave Bird, but yeah, as long as you chip it away, then it's not too big of a threat. But again, like I said as well, if you actually want to be very serious with this lineup, I would say sod Goodra and put Whiscash in instead. Whiscash is still very strong in the Great League, balances out with Venusaur and Alolan Marowak really nicely. Like, it's just a very strong team overall. But that's what Goodra has. I'm excited to play Goodra in the Ultra League personally, and I do have a Hundo Goodra, and I have enough XL Candy for Gumi to max it out for the Master League as well. So, and I hear that Premier Cup's back this season, so I might give it a try in there as well. Might have some interesting play with Aqua Tail now. I believe I I don't know if I did make a video. I can't remember if I made a video on Goodra in the Master Premiere when it was level 40. I might have done. If not, then I'm going to make one this season anyway, because that thing is ready to go. So, if you're new here, subscribe. I know I haven't uploaded in a good while. It has been a hectic couple of months and not in a good way, but it's the way the dice rolls, the way the cookie crumbles, the way it goes, I guess. But I'm hoping to get a little bit more done uploading wise and more videos out for you guys, more content. But we'll just see how that goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. You're all absolute legends, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.